How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 58 of my Shadow of the Tomb Raider Let's Play series. Picking up right where we left off, or close enough to it, as usual. Start of a new session today. Brother had a pretty long stream yesterday, so I wasn't able to get back to it. This person have anything new?
Check out what I've got.
No. I'll just sell my stuff, and we can move on.
I'm sure you will be satisfied. Good deal.
Leave myself with some wood to make arrows, but...
I'm sure you will be satisfied. That's a good deal for both of us. I'm sure you will be satisfied. That's a good deal for both of us. Good deal.
Alright.
Come back soon, miss.
Wait,
How are
what was
things?
some of the other things I could
have
sell
all
there?
kinds of stuff.
Sorry, I know. Weird thing to get into right away. Condor feathers are full.
That's a good deal for both of us.
Black wolf hide is full again.
I'm sure you will be satisfied.
There.
Pleasure doing business with you, friend.
One last thing I'm going to do before we just get on with the story, because that is what I'm going to do today. We did a lot of exploring and side quests in the last couple of episodes. Take a look at our outfit. This one, okay, that's why I'm wearing this one, is bonus stealth kills. I'm just seeing animals. Health regen, assault kills, quiet movement, natural resources, man-made resources. And none. Yeah. This is probably still our best bet. Just wasn't sure if I was wearing this one for any specific reason or if the story just forced me into it. Come on. Why can't I run here? There we go. Couldn't run in the middle of town, apparently. Also,
I feel something. We're getting close. Let's look around for signs of Lopez.
that's going to be important.
These notes were written by the founder of the Sector 7. They're talking about funds allocated for renovations to the library.
"25th of December, 1603. It has been 4 days since we turned away from the city. We traveled in silence and in circles, guided by a confusion of grief, relief, and celebration. Lopez and I exited the jungle and landed in a clearing, under the gaze of several faces carved into the side of the mountain. Lopez had an episode, as he later called it. He threw himself in front of the faces and screamed for forgiveness. The heaviest sin on his heart was abandoning Perez to the strange warriors. They had grown close over the journey. Try as I might, I could not console him, so I built a fire and waited, as he decreed his actions and pleaded for forgiveness from the silent stone faces.
Alright. Just gonna let everyone here know that it's either gonna be sometime this episode or next episode. I am gonna have to, suddenly cut. The episode will probably continue after that. But today is my day of bread. So, if you hadn't heard in the past or hadn't paid attention, I make bread kind of as a hobby. It's just sandwich bread. Instead of buying it, it has far less ingredients and far better for you than most of the stuff you'd buy in stores. And it's fun. But I need to let it, oh wow. It needs to rise for an hour after it's first kneaded. And then you need to beat the air out of it and shape it and to put it into its next container and let it rise for another 45 minutes after that. And I'm kind of in the middle of those two steps.
And under his wings you may seek refuge. Under his wings.
I mean, that's going to be the important one right there. But yeah, if none of you have ever made bread before, I would highly recommend it. It's not as much of a pain as a lot of people will make it out to be. It just really isn't. The first step of mixing everything together and kneading it takes maybe 20-25 minutes. And then the rest of it's pretty much just waiting and baking. Pretty simple. If you have a stand mixer, even simpler.
The door closed and a silence settled, so great and so vast I held my breath for fear of breaking it. Lopez turned to me, his eyes wild, a smile screwed across his face. He came toward me, arms outstretched, and for a moment fear flickered across my heart. But he pulled me close, his fingers digging into my shoulders. "I found it," he whispered in my ear, and releasing me, he wandered through this room. Walls of pure jade reaching up to the heavens, completely covered in intricate etched mosaics and carved figures. I followed at a distance as he approached an altar, and watched as he lifted a silver box from it.
Alright.
The others are worried that Brothers de la Cruz and Serrano will not return. I have so far maintained they will, that they always have. But in my heart I am beginning to believe we have seen the last of them, and that grief weighs heavily. We will continue their work. Either they will return to find we have not forgotten the teachings, or they will look down on us from above and bless our continued labors.
But yeah, baking in general is rather fun to do. Like, if anyone ever talks about like it's hard to like mix everything or get all the ingredients correct, that's not true. You just follow the recipe. It's pretty simple. Somebody else did all the hard work of coming up with the recipe. You just have to follow it.
This cross, it looks like it's from the 17th century.
Okay, if that's not where I'm supposed to go. I mean, these are still glowing. For some reason. Oh, there's an upstairs. I didn't even see these.
December 1603. Lopez woke me, having already prepared a Spartan breakfast. "This is where we were meant to be," he said, a cold determination in his voice, so very different from how he acted just the day before. I finished my meal as he spoke of holy retribution, how he had acted in error, but now God had put his hands on his shoulders and shown him the path to walk. We will spread the true word of God from this small mission, he said, pointing to an adobe building just beyond the stone faces. We will prepare the path for the chosen one to follow, for only he who does will be worthy of this box. Jonah, this book describes a stranger's arrival at the mission. He founded the Sect of Seven. Maybe that was Lopez.
Like on the pamphlet. We must be getting close. We should keep looking.
Oh, there's another thing over there. I hesitate to call all this like just earthquake damage because of all the greenery growing in here. This place has obviously not been used for a very long time. At least the upstairs.
John, son of Zebedee, one of Jesus' apostles, also called the beloved disciple. He and his brother, James, were known for their impetuousness and temper, which prompted Christ to start calling them Boanerges, sons of thunder. John is credited with writing 5 books of the New Testament, the Gospel of John, the 3 epistles of John, and the Book of Revelation. He's the patron saint of love and loyalty, as well as writers, publishers, and scholars. One of his symbols is a serpent in a cup, which is linked to his patronage of victims of poisoning and burns.
Oh, that explains the riddle. Yay!
This roughly drawn sketch shows St. John repelling a demon attack. Perhaps they plan to have this as one of the frescoes in the mission.
Yay, another story complete. I'm gonna look around a bit more. I know that one's super important because of the way she slowed down once I got close to it.
Brother de la Cruz appeared one day, emerging from the jungle, breathing new life into the mission. There were just the 3 of us when he arrived, and Sister Dorothea had been ill for many weeks. He and his associate began to work that first day. By the next week, de la Cruz had recruited a workforce of 3 dozen. They have prepared the bell tower and worked the fields, planting crops. Brother de la Cruz aims to make us self-sufficient. We'd spent so long alone out here, I'd worried we'd lose God's ear. Lo and behold, we not only had his ear, but he sent another to act as his hands as well.
Okay, it looks like just the one more letter in here. Yep.
Stone faces weep as Jesus creeps along the dolorous path. Too many died. More will still, and more will still, and more will still. His light leads the way.
Yeah, I'd say ranting is a pretty good title for that. Alright, on to this thing that forces me to slow down.
The sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. Jonah, those 2 Bible quotes. The sun will be darkened, and under his wings you may seek refuge.
What does it mean?
That's it. Look for a heron and an eclipse. The sun will be darkened.
The fact that it was still glowing.
Will not give its light.
I can craft arrows while she's doing that. That's goofy. Nothing to do with this giant cross. Like, why would they board this up? That's silly. So, it's obviously this.
There's a whole mural under here. Veracruz, the true cross.
Is that what I think it is?
The silver box. It's unmistakable.
Jesus takes up the cross. These are the stations of the cross. But there's a bunch missing.
Before 1600, there were only 7. This could date back to the time of Lopez.
This is one of his clues.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing he does.
All right. Let's see if we can find a cross lying around here somewhere.
I wonder where there's a cross around here. Also,
When we find the box, how do we get the key back from Dominguez?
We'll find a way.
you know one of the priests or sisters is going to come in here and go, what the fuck happened here? What happened to the mural we liked?
Must be pretty hard for him.
I can only imagine.
Man, honestly.
Found something?
Yeah. Jesus takes up the cross. Help me lift this.
That actually worked.
Looks like a long way down. Let's see where this leads.
Yeah, because this seems safe.
Station 2. Jesus falls the first time.
There's an inscription here. Ambulate dum lucem habitis.
Have to walk while you have the light.
Alright. It's like I know what we have to do. I'm just kind of... There's a little bit of a sound delay during that cutscene.
That did it. I wouldn't want to be buried in here. My head tossed behind a cross somewhere.
Yeah, a bit creepy.
Walk while you have the light, so that the darkness may not overtake you,
Sounds like a hint.
or a threat.
This looks like the Virgin Mary.
Station 3. Jesus meets his mother.
The mirror looks dusty. I'll give you a boost. worked. The light leads this way.
Is there anything else in here that I should know of? So far, no. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. There's one on the other side too, wrapped up in the roots. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait till next episode to see how this ends up. So, as usual, thank you everybody very much for watching, and I'll hope to see you next time. Alright, bye.